What's up, people? I'm Code Gray, this is Dallas, and today we are doing her 12,000 mile review. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over for my 2018 Honda CBR650F is cost. How much money have I had to spend on her so far in the 12,291 miles that I've ridden her so far? Now, I'm not including regular maintenance like oil changes, chain maintenance, cleaning products. I'm talking about things that I've had to purchase, you know, in repairs. So the cost in repairs that I've had to spend on this bike in the 12,000 miles I've had her is zero. Thank goodness she has given me zero problems. Now, as far as cost for visual upgrades or any kind of enhancements, I'll go over a couple things with that, because I did put a few things on the bike. Nothing mechanical as far as that goes. I didn't, you know, upgrade the exhaust or anything like that. This is all cosmetic things. I suppose the costliest thing that I've spent so far as cosmetics goes is this right here, my new windscreen. That's actually the second windscreen I bought for her. Third one on her, including the original. The original just came with a clear windscreen that was pretty close to the, you know, to the body down here. I didn't hate it, but I really didn't love it too much either. It just kind of made the front end look a little bit weird. So then I got on Amazon and I bought a dark tinted one. Same style. It was just a dark tinted windscreen, which made it look a lot better. But there was still something missing, even with that windscreen. Now that windscreen that that tinted one that I bought, it ran me about $35, I think, if I remember right. Now this windscreen that I bought here, I had to purchase that off of eBay. There was only one place I could find selling that style of windscreen for this bike, and that was a small company over in Thailand. Thailand? I think Thailand, if I remember right. Now I have to give the guy credit, the seller of this windscreen here. Well, first of all, it cost me about $108, $110. But I got to give the guy credit because Man, I figured ordering a windscreen from Thailand, I figured it would take forever to get to me. I figured I'd be wasting, you know, or waiting a good month or so. Because I have waited a long time ordering other stuff from other countries. But this guy shipped me this windscreen by DHL and had it to me in 3 days. I couldn't believe it. And everybody knows DHL ain't cheap. Now the second thing that I bought for this bike, cosmetically anyway, is the seat cowl. That there ran me about 80 bucks. Now if you notice the decals on that seat cowl, those didn't come with the seat cowl. Those I had made later. Didn't really cost me anything. But they gave a little extra flair to it that I like, so I went ahead and put those on. Since I went ahead and put that seat cowl on there, I wasn't going to have no passenger, so I removed the passenger pegs. Now here's where a little disappointment came in, because when I removed those pegs, they actually had a little bit of rust underneath them. They did not paint the area of the frame where those pegs were at, which I was kind of a little bit surprised. So, hang on. Almost missed my turn there. So yeah, when I removed those pegs, there was a little bit of rust that I had to clean up. And then you seen the bare frame showing, so I had to purchase a little bit of rust preventative paint in the same color and touch it up a little bit. And so I went online and I looked for you know, blanks to cover that up, which is just all it is. It's a couple of metal plates about, you know, that big, just to cover up where you removed your pegs at. And the only ones that I could find online were $90. I could not believe it. They wanted $90 for two little pieces of metal, square metal, that big, with a little name on it. Of course I wasn't gonna buy that. So back to eBay I went. I found some aluminum screws with some nice red anodized beveled washers that look real nice. Put them in instead and it matched up real nice. And actually I think it looks better than the blank plates that I originally intended to buy. Yeah, so all in all I think I spent around maybe 200 bucks in cosmetic upgrades so far. That's about it. Yes, I would like to get a tail tidy, but haven't gone that far yet. And I know it's the first thing most people do, but it honestly doesn't bother me that much. Yes, I know it would look better, but I'm not that worried about it. Oh, looks like we're coming up to a dead end here. With the power plant in the background. First time on this road. Well, before we get into the things that I do really like about this bike, let's talk about some of the things that I don't. Well, honestly, there isn't really anything that I really hate as far as that goes. Just things that are some minor annoyances, really. That's all they are. Okay, the very first thing that is an annoyance is this right here. Look at that play. I find that annoying. And yes, I know there are ways to fix that, but I gotta be honest with you. I am no motorcycle mechanic. And yeah, it's probably easy. Yeah, it's probably an easy fix, but It's not something I've looked into yet. And I just probably gotten used to it enough to where, even though it's an annoyance, it's really not that big of a deal. The second thing that annoys me about this bike is that right there. That light tells you your brights are on. I know you can't tell it right now, but at nighttime, that thing is unbelievably bright. Distractingly bright. It's like someone's trying to hold a little flashlight under your face while you're trying to ride at night. It's to the point where I rarely use my brights. That's how bright that thing is. And I keep telling myself, get a piece of electrical tape and tape over it so it doesn't bother you. But every time I get home, I completely forget about it. Until it's time to turn the brights back on again. Then I'm like, the tape. But I always forget every single time. I suppose another thing that annoys me about my bike, well, let me put this differently, annoyed me about the bike, was the original windscreen, which we already went over that, and that's fixed, and that's much better, and I'm much happier about that. Okay, the fourth thing that annoys me about this bike is, well, I don't know, can't think of anything else. I suppose when I get home and get off the bike, if it comes to mind, it probably wasn't that important to begin with. Okay, the first thing I like about this bike, the power. Well, with 90 horsepower and 47 foot-pounds of torque, what's not to like? She is a fast bike. No, she's not leader bike fast, but she's basically faster than any car on the road, other than your supercars. Yeah, this is my second bike. My first bike was a CB650F, so quite a big power boost. So I do like the power of this bike. Second thing about this bike that I like the fact that it's an inline four. I know a lot of people think inline fours are boring, or I don't know, not torquey enough for them. I don't know. I like it. I really like the way it sounds. I like that build up when you're first taking off. I like that sound. I like how it winds up. Kind of reminds me of those old THX intros that you'd see at the beginning of the movie. You know, like, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Another thing about this bike that I do like, I will say like, I don't love, but I still like it, is I like the exhaust note. I think it could be a little bit louder. But I still like it. Speaking of exhaust, we'll say on that right there, the exhaust, it's an underslung exhaust. And I gotta be honest, that's my favorite type. I'm not a big fan of the giant cans sticking out of one side of the bike. On some bikes they look good, but man, on sport bikes they just look so asymmetrical, I guess that's the way you want to put it. It just looks funny. An underslung exhaust has a nice symmetry to the bike that I just like. Not just on this bike, but on any bike. I just like it. And as far as your general things about the bike that I like, you know, I like the handling. It's got these dual show front forks. They're non-adjustable, but I've never felt the need to have anything more. I probably don't have the skill to be able to actually tell if I need something more. They feel good to me. I just generally like the overall look of this bike, and she's always treated me right. I've never had any problems with her, and I can't complain because after 12,000 miles, not having to spend any actual repair money on her, what's to complain about? Oh, I also I forgot about my tank grips. Tech Spec tank grips. I recommend those too. Those were, oh shoot, what were those? $30, $40, somewhere around there. So there you go. There's my 12,000 mile review for my 2018 CBR650F. I always forget to say Honda. Anyway, generally, I like the bike. I have no complaints, really, other than a couple minor annoyances that we talked about. So if you're looking for a good, reliable, fun bike, here you go. And I'm sure the new model, probably just as good. It's got a little more horsepower, so. Though on the new model, I don't like the rear end. I don't like the way they snub the tail off of it. Looks funny. I like the front end though. Front end looks real good. Anyway, that's all for this review. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm Code Gray. See you guys in the next video.